matchup. You really go into a game like this with the way they play it. It really came down to ball screen defense, individual defense, and at the offensive end, just guys making enough shots to win a game, and because of their different zone coverages, and it was the type of game that we obviously lost earlier in the season. So we're happy with the improvement.
Coach, you said winning's the biggest thing for you guys. It wasn't the prettiest game for you guys out there. You'll have a lot better as the season goes on. So do you mind how it looked?
No.
It ended the way?
No, I loved the way the scoreboard looked. I mean, I think that was probably in the first half. That might have been the only time this year that I think I was frustrated. I just didn't think we were real sharp. I didn't think we were sharp at all offensively until those winning plays had to be made, and the performances of these two guys right here, Mike Powell, critical shots he made late, and then Andre doing a great job on the backboard after he didn't do that in the first half, and to do it with an 8-man rotation, being down Mike Amon, guys picked it up.
Xavier, can you just talk about your play in the second half offensively? I mean, it looked like I don't know if you started looking for your shot more or if it was there more.
I didn't try to force it in the second half. I struggled a little bit in the first half, picked up 2 fouls. So in the second half, I just tried to catch my rhythm, come in the game slowly, and just try to find my rhythm, start knocking down shots.
That stretch ahead, I think it was like 12. It was 10 out of 12 or 12 out of 14. Are those things that just kind of happen?
Oh yeah, I guess. I just trying to find my shot, like I said. Once I found it, I just kept on trying to stroke it.
And just on that, like he had just missed a clean look from the corner in front of our bench, and Nick didn't hear what I said, but I turned to my brother and I said, if you're a great player, you got to step up and make that shot. So I threw him under the bus, and then he basically the next 3 looks he got from 3 totaled 10 points, and that's the type of guy he is. And good thing about X is he's going to get better and better, and he got a lot more games left to play here.
For Dan and for Nick, the block shot at the end, that sort of weak side defense, is that what you've been looking for out of Nick, that sort of effort play?
Definitely. We've been working on that for a while. That was stressed a lot during practices, help side defense, try to, clog up the paint and then close out to the shooters. So that's what we try to do at the end. And, we came up with a big stop.
Nick's the way Nick, Nick in the last couple of games for me has played like, an all-conference level player with what he did defensively, taking charges, 9 rebounds, 22 points, critical shots. He's doing. If we were going to have a chance to win games this year, this is what, there's a lot of pressure on him. This is what he's got to do.
Is he your barometer, Dan? When he does that sort of dirty work stuff, is this going to be that much a better team?
I mean, that's you hate to put it on one guy. And we identified Nick in the individual workouts as a guy, to this point, in his career. I don't think that, he's, squeezed the lemon, so to speak, and I think he's starting to do it now because he's a talented guy. He's got skill. He's got IQ. When he adds this ruggedness to his game, we got a chance to be competitive or win every game we're in.
Coach X had no points in the first half. Was there a concerted effort to get him the ball, or did that just come in the flow of the offense? No way they were playing defense?
When you have 0 points at halftime, and he just kind of, he didn't look sharp, but it's been a trend the last couple of games. He started slow in first halves, and then he's been, he's made critical plays in the second half, and we've got to identify some things and get him back to playing complete halves. But 17 in the second half, that's pretty productive right there.
X, that scoring that you had, that came after that block shot. That's one of the more athletic plays we've seen this season. Did that spark you a little bit?
Yeah, I tried to spark. I had a turnover that following play, so I had to get back, make it up for my team. So it just sparked, helped everything else, my shot and everything else, just helped everything fall into place.
It looked like you kind of faked him, like you were going to go in, then you back.
Yeah, I tried to time it a little bit because I knew he was going to try to get the contact and then go over the weak player, so I tried to just get it.
I was also killing you on the bench after you turned that ball over to him. And then you blocked the shot, and I was a fan again.
Coach, the game at 42-42, you guys made those key plays. Why now are you making those plays as opposed to the games in Norfolk States and the Seton Halls?
We played good teams, you know. We played teams, you know, listen, Georgia State, you know, was 5-5 going into their Southern Miss game at home, and, you know, they outplayed Southern Miss the entire game, and, you know, really just found a way to lose it late. And, you know, so they very easily could have been a 6-5 team, and that's a program that, you know, handed it to us pretty good last year. We played a hard schedule. We played good teams. You know, we've played BCS level opponents and teams picked to win their league. And, you know, we're hardened, you know, we're grizzled, and I think we're starting to think that we got a chance to be good.
Coach, you said time and time again that the strength of this team is the perimeter shooting. Those shots weren't falling. They're starting to fall now these last couple of games. It's just guys getting to the gym more confident. Can you put your finger on why the shots are falling now than they weren't at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are a joy to work with. They work hard. And I just think it takes time to get adjusted and a feel for where people are going to be and where, you know, in the way we play offense, where they're going to get shots.
Coach, you have 2 games left before league play begins. What's your thoughts going into 8-10 play?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think we're excited. You know, a lot of programs with the people that we have to play. I think after the, you know, whatever the start was, 0-5 or wherever we're at, been real easy to just go into a 2 for 11, 1-12 out of conference schedule and go limp into conference play. You know, but these guys got spirit. They care about the program and what we're building. You know, and you know, it's the attitude of the kids that we've recruited and the kids that were here. They want to compete. They want people to respect them. They want to be a good team.
Are you guys surprised at where you're at right now?
To be honest, we should be like a little bit better, in my opinion. But you know, we had a few tough losses at the beginning. You know, we learned from them, and that's why we earned the win tonight.
Dan,
my opinion.
The two flagrant fouls in the first half. What were the explanations you got on both of them?
Well, we both threw the red challenge flag. Yeah, you know what? I knew that the one in front of our bench, because you know, that was an easy one. You could see it, and then, you know, the blood coming from Dre's mouth kind of tipped off the rest of it, and then you know, at the other end, it was a pass that Mike Powell threw, and on the follow through, he hit the kid in the face, and you know, that to me was different than a kid clearing with his elbow.
Was that a makeup call in your mind?
I just don't know why you would have had to have made it up if the other guy elbowed him in the face to clear out room. But I thought the referees were great.
Coach, was it hard to find flow in the game, though? It seemed like there were a lot of stoppages for the first about 30 minutes of the game. Was it hard to get a rhythm going with the amount of whistles going on in the game?
Yeah, like when we talked to, you know, some of you guys prior to the game, they play a real ratty style. They mix up their defenses, you know, with the way their matchup zone is played. You know, sometimes they match up with cutters. They do different things on ball screens. They play a style, I think, that muddies up the game, and you know, and I think it becomes less about execution and scheming and more about just guys stepping up and making those critical shots when they get them.
X, where's everyone's confidence at right now?
I think everybody have a good confidence level. We're just ready to go into conference play, finish out these last couple games in non-conference. Everybody's playing well right now, so we're ready.
Coach, what's going on in the Big East with that schism? Do you think that's going to affect the Atlantic 10, and if so, how?
You know, I know what we're building here. Man, we get a chance to see it every day. Guys like Nick are helping, you know, lay this foundation down. We see these 4 guys sitting out. You know, we see these 2 guys coming in. We see these young players that we're developing. You know, I don't care who's in our league, because I know how great of a program we're going to be in short order.